individual Indian tribes, many of the 20 to 25 praying Indian villages that had been started with John Eliot after they had been converted by the Indians, were right in this area, and especially, of course, Martha's Vineyard, the island of revival. The entire island was converted by 1690. And during King Philip's War, the Indians on Martha's Vineyard would not join with King Philip. They actually stood around the edge of the island with their English rifles that they had gotten and told King Philip to leave. And he had to turn around in midstream and leave the island because the island, well, its capital was Christiantown. And so you have this phenomenal revival taking place here, miracles after miracles occurring right around where we are here in this church. I think one of the things that has fueled us here at the New Testament Church is knowing a bit about our own history. This church was founded in 1901 as a result of a revival that took place in the 1850s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. For about 20, 30 years, it was growing. And the interesting thing, it was the Native American population that was getting saved and getting converted, and they began to shepherd the backslidden white fishermen and bring the gospel back to them because they had received the gospel in the 1600s originally from the Pilgrims. And to know this kind of history and to know that it appeared very dark in 1880 when the white little village down here called Cedar Swamp, where the Pilgrims used to get their cedar trees and then send them back to pay off their debts in the 1640s, 50s, and 60s. And the deed of 1669 that founded this little village, it's kind of interesting because you see it, it looks dark, it looks like everything is going to go down. And then all of a sudden, God has a plan that just kind of arises right in the middle of this. Well, we've taken this, and this has been a fuel that many people say to us, why on earth would you embrace any kind of vision of hope for the future, and you live in Massachusetts, and you live in the things that are happening right here in every type of area? It's because we do believe that people are going to see sin for what it really is. And we do believe that when those things take place, we do not have to fret. We continue to preach the gospel of the kingdom, and the fact that there is one day when the kingdom of God will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. And because of that, we don't look at just simply what we see today, though it can be discouraging, though it can be depressing. And though we look at it, we want to love people in the midst of it. We want to love people in the midst of the greatest thing, serve people. And we tell people a simple thing. If you serve your neighbor and you serve society in a way and you bless people unconditionally, you let God take care of the rest, and you continue to be active in your communities. You continue to vote. You continue to be expressive of your viewpoints. Certainly you're going to see the kingdom of God begin to come. And we have seen little evidences where we have served the community, we have served individuals here, and voluntarily, on their own, individuals have been more respectful and also more receptive to the gospel of the kingdom. So yes, even in a state like Massachusetts, the seed, just like you see a small seed can be planted and can actually split a boulder. So we see the seed of the kingdom of God being able to do that, even if it's long past the time we're born, even if it's with our children or our grandchildren. We see the kingdom of God coming and restoring eventually those things that have been lost here in Massachusetts.